This is my third time in Australia. Describe Australian culture. The people, lunatics. Completely comfortable with sharks, spiders, snakes, all the rest of it. That blows my mind. An Aussie fan is like a mate. Like, I know that sounds cliche, but they approach me in such like a friendly, like, yo dude, like they've known me my whole life, which is really interesting. It's like, super friendly.
Fourth, but now
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
to the top.
You guys love jumps, right? Aussies love, where I've been, they love just putting a takeoff out of a berm. I like to rip a corner, see a jump, jump the jump, berm, jump. That's like a good track for me. I think just it's in the Aussie culture to get the best out of things and like ride, like get the best out of trails. So a bike that's literally made for fun seems perfect. Being a Red Bull athlete's an amazing opportunity. It's like 10 years of Red Bull now for me. I think it does give you like a lot of credibility. They obviously don't sponsor everybody. I was very lucky to be their first freestyle mountain bike rider in the UK and still am. I think for all the other brands associated with you, it does like create a bit of an uplift. I mean, I get invited to stuff like this. I do some big projects with Red Bull that all my other brands can piggyback off the back from, you know. So I think just having that hat, having that helmet on has done a lot for the rest of my career, not just with Red Bull. I don't think me being a Red Bull athlete brings credibility to Marin. I think Marin has its own credibility that's been built over a very long time. But the access I get from Red Bull to events and projects and doing world's first tricks, Crankworx, Red Bull Hardline, that's a massive asset and an opportunity for Marin to put their bikes in and test them in that way. Like, if I wasn't a Red Bull athlete, maybe I wouldn't be at Red Bull Hardline, and then as a Marin athlete, we wouldn't be testing this bike at Hardline Wales and Hardline Tasmania. So there's some credibility to be gained from it, but I think Marin are working separately to Red Bull, and it just so happens that we're all like elevating this whole thing together. When we're prototyping a bike, no, we don't use fans, consumers. It's like just me, some other pro riders from the team, and the engineers, the product guys. I think fans would probably confuse things a bit because everyone's got a different style of riding, and you could easily end up building a bike that's not as like generally perfect. And that doesn't make sense, but that's why there's so many people involved. I've had some ideas over the years of bikes, and then I've been kind of proved that that's actually so niche, and we always want to do it, just create bikes that the most people can have fun on. So, made for fun, what does that mean? For me, for a bike to be fun, it's playful, which all Marins are, that's what we think about, but that's not the only thing. I think they do need to be accessible, and like an accessible price point where people can get into mountain biking through this brand. That's really important for me. I think durability is another massive factor. You can't have fun on a bike if it keeps breaking, or like if the performance has been so highly tuned that the thing never works. You know, that's another element. There is more to it than the bike being playful, but I think most importantly is just we like making bikes where people can express themselves and ride them differently. And I think the athlete roster at Marin and the stuff that's been done on our bikes over the years proves that. Like, people take the San Quentin, the Alcatraz, the Quake, the Alpine Trail, and they ride them in such unique, such diverse ways that it proves that the bike is just the tool to allow you to go out and do that. Yeah, if I was to be entirely honest with what I want to do with bike riding in the next 5 years, it's just like extract as much enjoyment, traveling and new experiences from the sport as possible. I spent a lot of years, like over a decade, really focused on tricks, performance, adding a bar spin to a trick I've been able to do for 5 years, riding an airbag, just training invisibly, and then took that to competitions and had a lot of success. But I often looked from afar at all the guys just riding with their mates, right? Just out there purely for fun, going on a riding holiday that wasn't a race, wasn't an event, and I was always a bit jealous of that. And I'd definitely like to just extract the most fun out of the sport as possible in the next few years, and I think I'm set up in a pretty good way to do that, yeah.